Morning friends, welcome back to the greenhouse. This morning we are going to be planting irises and starting more seeds. I got my box of irises from Shriner's Iris about 2 weeks ago. I ordered these back in, I don't even remember when I ordered these. It was months ago. But I didn't get a ton, but I got enough to fill in some of the holes. We have some beautiful irises out there in the cottage garden right now, and they do spread. And so I don't want to get crazy, but there were some holes that I would love to fill so that this year the whole cottage garden has a spectacular show of iris. So I have a number of varieties here that I will show you. And let's see, looks like I have 13 total. So it's not a lot, but which is good. But I've got pretty much 2 or 3 of everything, but there's a few singles. Okay, so the first one, and I have 2 of these, is Immortality. Just a gorgeous white iris. I think this would look amazing in close proximity to the black suited irises I have out there, which are solid black. They look black from a distance. You get closer, it's extremely dark purple. They're absolutely stunning. So I thought that would be a really cool combination. Okay, then I have 2 Blonde Ambition irises. These are really, really pretty. I like the, there's a little bit of blue on the throat of this iris, and I think that's really fun. All of these, by the way, all are tall bearded irises. The one I just showed you, Immortality, is the height of 29 inches. This one is 38 inches. So yeah, they get pretty tall, which is great because they're great for like mid and back border in a flower bed. All right, then we have 2 of these Presby's Crown Jewel. There was something about this one that just really got me. I love the blue edging. Just think it's so pretty. And these guys, height of 36 inches. Okay, then we have 2 Magical. And this one I love because it's got that like pink blush to it. I'm a sucker for that. It's a blushy apricot-y center. That'd be really pretty. Height 37 inches, so I have 2 of those. And I have a single Sunrise Elegy. I'm not usually a huge fan of yellow, but this one just kind of spoke to me. And I think it's just so beautiful. It's very frilly, and it's got that beautiful white tongue on it. So pretty. I guess you would call that a beard. 39 inches on that. Then we have 3 of these, and I'm trying to see how you pronounce it. I think it's Elanalope or Elianope. I don't know. You tell me. But it's really pretty. Lavender, lots of different lavender and lilac shades. 37 inches high. I've got 3 of those. And then I have a single. This rhizome is huge. Look at that. It's also got a whole bunch of bulblets off to the side. So this one is primed to expand. This one's called Rhizome Cowboy, which I think is great. Anybody remember Rhinestone Cowboy from the 70s? You'll think this is funny. That height is 35 inches. And then finally we have, oh no, I already showed you those. Presby Crown Jewel. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to go out now and find some spots in the cottage garden. It is possible that I won't be able to put them all out there. These guys really should be planted about 2 feet apart. I have some that are closer. That just means I'll have to divide them sooner, because as you can see on this one, it's got all these little bulblets around here. Those are actually going to become separate plants that then over time you can divide and spread throughout your garden. So if I can't have lots of spacing, enough spacing out there, then I'll probably start putting some of these in the front garden, in the veggie garden. I have space, I can do that. And I think that would be lovely to have these kind of flowers out there. Okay, One other thing, when you plant iris, you cannot bury the crown. This is super important. So normally when you put a plant in the ground, you want to like put all this stuff underground, right? So here's the soil surface. But if you do that with iris, they'll suffocate and die. You need to keep the soil, this tag is in my way, right above where the roots are. And so you're going to have this hump of the rhizome sticking out of the ground. That's just the way it has to be. Now, these are very hardy rhizomes. All of them have really extensive root systems already, like this. So I'm actually going to have to dig quite a hole, to get them in there good, because you want to, what we're going to do is dig our hole and spread the roots out kind of like that in the bottom of the hole. And then of course, make sure that the soil level doesn't go above and cover the rhizome. So I'm going to grab my trowel and we'll go out and find some spots in the cottage garden. Like I said, if there are spots that, aren't going to work, then we will take whatever we have left over and put them in the front veggie garden. Speaking of the veggie garden, we're not moving soil today because I'm waiting on hardware cloth. I ordered more. I do have a roll, probably 50 feet left out at the farm of the same stuff we've been using. But because that is 3 feet tall, we've been cutting it in half to put in the beds, and that's just an extra step. So I thought I can use that roll out at the farm for the beds like we planned, opening more beds for gopher control, and I'll just order a 2 foot tall roll. So that's what I did. Now we won't have to cut it. We could just run it around, and then we'll cut the top out to fit. But all the beds also are about 2 feet wide. And if it's a little bit more, then I still have extra hardware cloth out there that we haven't used yet. It's just not enough to go around a bed. So it's all good. Anyway, hopefully we can get back to that tomorrow. But in the meantime, after we do the irises here, we're going to start seeds. And this is another big week, but it's kind of the last big week. The seedlings over here are looking great. So you can see here, this is all stock up front here. And then we've got status back here, and it's looking so good and healthy. And again, these guys aren't going to be going out to the farm until probably the first week of October. So they have plenty more time in here to continue to grow. They look like they're good size now, but when you get them out into a bed, they're just way too small. They don't make it. So I'm going to be here a while longer. They did all get a dose of kelp this morning. And then here we've got this pretty much this whole tray is straw flower, different colors and mixes. It's really interesting. This one, copper red. We only had very sparse germination, but I think that was a very old seed packet. So we're going to be totally fine. Okay, and then here we've got feverfew, which definitely needs to grow much, much more. And then this is the Daucus, Amimagus, and we've got our mustard back here, and then the Delphinium in the very back, which of course hasn't really done much yet. It's a perennial, takes a lot longer. We have transplanted most of our vegetables at this point. This is Florida mustard, so that's just going to go in the, not in a raised bed, it's going to go the in-ground beds. And then back here, the only kale that germinated was this guy, red Russian kale. I mean, this kind of, but I don't think it's going to do much. It looks like it's like dampening off at the base. And then over here, we've got all of our onion seedlings. They are doing great. I will give them a lot more time in here, then we'll separate them and plant them up. And then these are all Rudbeckia varieties, not ready to go anywhere yet. So, but in general, everything's looking great. This is what I love to see in here. And the best part is there are no mice or rats in here. I don't have to cover these every night. It's great. The peace of mind is like hard to explain. Okay, let's go check out where we might be able to put these in the cottage garden. Okay, irises are planted. I had to take a little break and go put the honey boxes, the honey supers that are now just wet frames, back on top of the hives. And my mentor arrived with the queen in her little cage, and I put her in the nuke that I started yesterday afternoon. So I'm all sweaty because I was in my bee suit and it's starting to get warm outside. But now we're going to start seeds, and everything's going in the soil blocks, and it's not a lot, but they're all really small seeds, so it's going to be interesting. So first, the only two veggie related things I'm starting are lettuces. We're going to do a butter crunch and a little gem. And I am starting these in soil blocks because I can get 20 of these a piece, and I want a lot of lettuce in the garden. So those are going in. And then we're doing scabiosa, and here's just a picture of the formula mix that I'm starting, but we're going to have, in addition to that, also Cut Bright formula, which is very similar to this, and then Snow Maiden, which is a beautiful white scabiosa. Then we are starting campanula. I have two hybrid campanulas here, Champion Lavender and Champion 2 Rose. So the first one is, well, they're both pelleted, so that should make it easier to sow these seeds. Last year I had sowed a bunch of campanula. Actually, no, I brought it in as plugs early this spring, and they all got eaten. So I want to try to protect these guys, maybe put them out a little bit bigger. Then we are also starting, and this is a perennial for me here, although for most people in lower zones it's an annual, but lambada, this is bee balm. This is excellent for cut flowers, but also obviously amazing for the pollinators. So I'm starting 20 of those. Some of them will go for cut flowers and others will just go into pollinator patches for the bees. And then we have Cynoglossum, or forget-me-not, Chinese forget-me-not, Mystery Rose, and Firmament. So Mystery Rose is a pink variety, and Firmament is a blue variety. I grew these for the first time last year and really, really liked them. This year they all died, so we're gonna go again. And then finally, in this tray, I have Orlea, white finch. Orlea really does well for me. It's a nice little filler flower. It's another lacy kind of, I kind of think of it as a mini hydrangea almost. It's flat, but it's very much looks like a hydrangea flower. So those are great for filler as well. All right, and then this tray, there's just snapdragons. So I have Tall Maximum Blend, and we're starting 20 each of these. And then Orange Wonder, and Potomac Royal. These are pelleted ones. Potomac Yellow, and Potomac Pink. So I've got my soil over here. It was very, very hydrophobic. I went ahead and got it all nice and wet, and I'm going to go ahead and make the blocks. Then we'll get these seeds sown, and that will be it for a day's work. Well, seeds are sown. They're on seedling heat mats. They probably don't need that, but I just kind of do that as a matter of course all the time. And looking good. So that's going to be it for me today, you guys. Hopefully tomorrow we can get back at moving compost. If not, we're going to be in here planting up a bunch of these succulents that we got the other day. A lot of my pots on the patio have been completely raided by rodents, and most of the succulents are gone. So we will be repotting those. That is a big project. And I have to make sure I have enough decorative stones in order to replace over the top to, yeah, make sure that it looks nice and tidy afterwards. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.